I hope that you had a wonderful Easter last Sunday with your families and friends. It was certainly wonderful to be here at St. Patrick's and celebrate Easter with everybody who was able to be here. It was just such a wonderful experience. Now, if you joined us in person last Sunday or online, you know that we have picked or chosen a theme for Easter. And this theme is made up of just 3 words. A message in the mess. A message in the mess. Now, the underlying principle here, as we said last week, is this: that there is always a message in whatever mess in life we may find ourselves in. Whether it is of my own making, I mean the mess, or I'm thrown into it, there's always a message. And we need to pay attention to the message. Now, of course, Easter has a message, doesn't it? And it's called the good news for all of us. Now, and when you find yourself in a mess of life, we said one thing you desire more than anything else is this: hope. Hope that you will be able to overcome whatever it is, and that you will come alive on the other side. Now, as we mentioned, Easter's story is a messy one, isn't it? At least it starts messy. We said that so many things went wrong starting with Palm Sunday. There was Last Supper, the betrayal of Jesus, the denial, the trial, the death on the cross. It was a mess. So many things went wrong. And I suggested that if you and I, if we believe that Jesus is God among us, if we believe that, then crucifixion was the biggest mess ever created. But we also said that there is a message. That if we believe that Jesus was raised from the dead, if we believe that the tomb was empty, that the cross was not the end, that sends a powerful message. And the message, we said, was this: that God can and will lead you through anything and everything in life. And we talked about this image that God is a shield in your life. So as you go through whatever it is you may be going, God goes first, and God is the shield. Now, the question is, do I believe that God can lead me through anything? Because God will, and God can. But do I believe that? Now today, the gospel continues, and we are in the Gospel of John. And you can kind of still have a sense that something went wrong on Good Friday. that the mess continues. John tells us, on the evening of that first day of the week, when the doors were locked, where the disciples were for the fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood in their midst. They are afraid. They are so afraid that they lock themselves up in the upper room. Their master was killed, and they are afraid that what happened to him may happen to them, that they could also be arrested. You and I, we would probably do the same. We would hide. Now imagine, in addition to it, the range of emotions that they are going through in the upper room when they are locked in. Loss, for sure. Hopelessness, I think so. They thought Jesus was the one. Uncertainty about the future, most likely. Disappointment, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe even shame that they abandoned Jesus and left him alone. At least most of them. Again, so many things went wrong. Now, it has been said that life can change in a single moment. No kidding. It can. And sometimes it, in fact, does. Life can change in a single moment. And it doesn't give you a notice. It does it so surprisingly. It doesn't give you a warning. And this is exactly what happened to the disciples. Everything changed when Jesus was on the cross. This is not just the stuff we see in the movies or read in the books. Life can change in a moment. A loss of a loved one, a serious illness, or someone betrayed you so intentionally that you suddenly find yourself in a place you've never been before. Everything changes. So it is real today, and it was real for them. But again, Easter reminds us that the Mass does not have the last word. Jesus has the last word. And now Jesus shows up in the middle of this entire situation. Out of the blue, the locked doors could not even stop him. The disciples know they failed him. I imagine that they are just like speechless. What's going on? They're not expecting this. Now, if you were Jesus, what would you say to them? Now, imagine that you are in that room and you are one of the disciples. And now comes the message. John continues. Jesus came and stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." And when he had said this, he showed them his hands and his side. The disciples rejoiced when they saw the Lord. And Jesus said to them again, "Peace be with you." It's so amazing. He simply says, "Peace be with you." That's what he wants to give them. In that room, they are locked in because they are just terrified. After everything that has happened and went wrong, he comes and he says, "Peace be with you." He doesn't blame them. He doesn't shame them. He doesn't rebuke them. He just says, "Peace be with you." I mean, I find it beautiful. I don't know about you. That gives me hope. You know, he gives them what they need at that moment. And what they need is peace. You know? When you are down, you don't need to be blamed, shamed, and rebuked. When you're down, you need to know that you're still loved, and what you need is peace. Again, I find it just beautiful. Notice he gives them exactly what they need in this mess. Exactly what they need. And I think that's maybe the most powerful lesson, that he gives them what they need. You see, Thomas needs to touch the wounds. He says, "I will not believe until I can physically touch your wounds." Jesus does not dismiss that. He knows what Thomas needs at that moment, and he allows him to touch the wounds. You see, in the Bible, where there is mess, there is always a message. You know? And when you find yourself in the mess of life, one thing you desire the most is hope. Hope that you will overcome and that you will come alive on the other side. No matter what it is that we may be facing. So again, I would suggest to you that today's message in the Mass is this: that God can and will give you what you need. The question is, do I believe that? But you see, the moment that you can say, "I believe that God will give me what I need," the moment you say that, the miracle begins. Let me repeat this again. The moment you can say in your life, in the middle of it, "I believe that God will give me what I need," at that moment, the miracle begins.